Hello, and we're going to get started. So last week we added our little slime guy, and this week I'm going to continue working on him, give him a little bit more of a in-depth behavior. So we're going to actually add a state machine to our slime. And inside the state machine, we'll have a few states. Let's see. Scripts. Enemies. That's okay. That's fine. All right. So we're gonna have an alerted script that will inherit from 8. So the states that we want, we'll have idle, alerted, face, these are just going to be nodes. Alright, so this will be idle, alerted, face, and attack. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to we want port var animation player, animation player, no, animation player dot play, actually, hold on. Yeah, we'll make this enemy idle, and export var idle animation name equal to, but we can change it in the individual Is it not like here? Animation player not declared in current scope. Okay. Slime idol. Idle animation make. I think most of the other stuff we don't need. Alright, alerted, it's going to be a similar thing. We want a reference to the animation player. And actually, we're going to call this enemy alerted. Alerted animation name. Right. If player no player play alerted animation. Alright. And we are going to export var base delete this and create a new one. Assign that chase state. So, and we're gonna make all of these unique. So in alerted, we don't actually need to do this. We can say we do that. So we need to animation player dot animation finished connect funk on animation finished Thanks for the flu full vodka. How's it going? Let's see. Body animation finished. I think this. Yeah, it passes a string. Random name. Hello. Hope you're doing well. Say if name is equal to alerted animation name, we can say if state machine current state is self machine change state and that's the chase state. I am working on the enemy behavior for the slime, so he can actually like chase the player around and stuff. And then we can see player get rid of this exit here. Okay, this. I'm just gonna copy the alerted. And we'll call this one hack. Hack animation name. Chase, we do want the animation player and a name. Chase. Slime. I gotta also. That'll be attack. I just need to replace the screen. This is slime attack. Alright. So we don't need an update state. We are gonna use the update physics state. Let's see. If player is not null, animation player dot play base animation name. Okay, so we are gonna move some stuff around. We have the player exited, player detected, and then this is like the attack thing. So we're actually gonna put so actually we're gonna get a reference to the state machine here. And rather than saying slime attack, we're gonna say state machine dot change state and attack state there. And then instead of just printing I saw the guy, we're gonna enter the alerted state. So we'll say state machine dot change state alerted and this one will go back to idle for now. Okay. So chase state, we want a reference to our navigation agent. And we also want a reference to the player. And actually, I think we just want to node 3D for this. Doesn't necessarily need to be the player. So in our update physics, we'll say if player is not equal to null. For now, we'll just pass. Actually, now we'll say navigation agent dot target position equal to player dot global. just see what happens right now. I feel like the slime's probably gonna throw an error because okay, we have several errors right now actually. Okay, so error number 1. State machine does not have an entry state. I want that to be idle. Okay, we're getting a bunch of errors now. What is that? Alright. Slime idle. Oh, it's because the... Let's see. Let's see. Is there a way... Movies. Slime. Just double check and make sure that is there... Yeah, okay. Cool. Yeah, I had the animations were in like a animation library, which wasn't what they needed to be. Okay. Animation finished. Base animation plan. What didn't I like about that? I think I might need to move this above where we change states. Okay, so that's the alerted. Animation finished. Let's. I'm just gonna copy this line here. And then just change this to disconnect instead of connect. I don't understand why that was saying it was invalid. Okay, so it's in the chase state now. There we go. Okay. Oops, I just had a typo in there somewhere. Spelled something wrong. Autocomplete didn't autocomplete correctly. So there's the alert. Now he's chasing the attacks. Get far enough away and then he goes back to idle. Okay. If state machine. I guess what happened is state machine got destroyed before this finished somehow. So I was trying to change states when as it was being destroyed. There we go. And so we probably also want to add a hurt and a die state for the slime. Right now, this is just calling Q free on this, which destroys it immediately. But I think what we want it to do is play an animation and maybe a sound effect, and then destroy itself after that. And we also want it to be able to chase the player around. So one thing we need to do is we need to make a navigation area for the outdoor scene. And I think the best way to do that is to just change the type of node to a navigation region. And make a new navigation mesh, and we can set some things on here, like I only wanted to do static colliders. I could set it to do mesh instances, but that so that, like, okay, I'll just show you. So if I bake it with mesh instances, it uses the visibility mesh as the collision shape for the navigation area, but that causes some problems because we have things like our rupees and our character and our slime that they should not be part of the navigation mesh. So if we switch it to static colliders and we turn off all of the layers except for layer 1, we can add more layers to it if we need to. Layer 1 is like our default layer, so if I bake it now, it's only including things that are like actually static geometry. It's not including things like pots, which maybe we do want it to include the pots, maybe not. Doesn't include the treasure chest or the sign or any of the collectibles or the pushable block, but it does include like the water and stuff, which is probably fine. There are some other things we might want to tweak though, like so the height I think is okay. Details, filters. I don't know what some of this stuff does. But now, let's see. I'm not using the avoidance right now. So in our chase here, we can say, so we're setting the target position. I can't remember how to do some of this stuff exactly. So, so yeah, we're basically setting the velocity to the direction to the to our target. Multiplying that by speed and then calling move and slide. So what we'll want to do here is we'll grab a reference to our slime here. Actually, now we want this in we want it in the chase script here. I'll just call it body. Character body 3D. And here we can say body dot velocity is equal to let's see, body dot global position dot direction to let's set it to 3 for now. And then we can say body dot moving slime. Double check this. Oh. I guess we could just do this instead of the player. We could say next we might not necessarily want to be setting the target position every frame, but it's probably okay for now. I guess the other thing we need to do here is when we detect the player, we can say face dot player equal to body. Yes. No, just body, I guess, because it's just a node 3D. And here we can say face player is null. Alright, let's see how this works. Alright, so he's alerted. Okay, he doesn't like that. No, I didn't assign the body, did I? Okay, he is kind of like floating above the ground, which is weird. And he is not turning to face me. Alright, so here we can say body dot global rotation degrees. I guess global rotation is equal to body dot direction. Transform dot direction. Global basis. Direction to player. Global position. But then we do also need to set the actually we'll just I'm gonna cut this and we're gonna say var new station, and then we'll say new rotation dot x is equal to 0, rotation dot z equal to 0, and then body rotation is new rotation. That way he should be facing me when he's chasing. He should be. Don't know why he's not. Is it? All right, we need say if information player is not no information player animation finish disconnect on finish. And I need to do this on this one as well. Actually, the super needs to be outside here. All right. And I also want to say, we don't want to transition to the alerted state if we're not in the idle state. If state machine current state is idle, then we do this. Because we don't want to enter the alerted state from the chase state. let's look up direction too, because I feel like direction to it's normalized. I don't think that's what I want actually. Let's see. Oh, yeah. I'm silly. This shouldn't be body equals new rotation. It should be look at new rotation. Think. No. I was close though. It shouldn't be this. It should be body dot. And then we'll say body dot global rotation X and body dot global rotation. How did I do this before? I've done this in another project. I feel like I'm gonna open up the other project. I do not remember what I did. How did I do this here? Okay. Look at target position and then just rotation degrees is okay. Body degrees 3 0 body dot rotation use that line. Facing the wrong way though. Just flip it. What if instead of looking at the player's position, we look at navigation agent? Target position. That is literally what I'm doing in this other project. Oh, it's I do this all the time. Oh, the model's facing the wrong way. So I think if I just rotate this 180 degrees, now it should work. But now that's it. Now my sensors are the wrong way, is it? So what I'm gonna do is, I don't like having rotation on this stuff. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna set this back to 0. And then I'm gonna move these back in. And then It's a new node. It's gonna be a node 3D. Rotate it 180 degrees. And then I'm gonna unparent it. Okay. Should be okay now. He's gonna be faced the wrong way in the scene now. Yeah, this is the thing that always throws me off with Godot, and I don't know if I'll ever get used to it, is in Unity, positive Z is away from you, like the direction that you're facing is positive. In Godot, positive Z is towards you or away from you. Towards the camera is it's forward. And I always mess that up and get things backwards, and things are facing the wrong way. Alright, he's chasing me correctly now. Cool. I don't know why he's above the ground though. That's kind of weird. But if I can get away from him, then he goes back to idle. Just waits. Sees me. Chases me. I can block him though. That's cool. Okay, why is he... Oh, I can get like too close to him for him to attack. That's kind of funny. Okay. Let's see. So first thing I want to figure out is why he's hovering above the ground. And I think that might have to do with, let's see. Path height offset. Let's try adding 0.5 to that. Yeah, I think that fixed it. Okay, he is. Doesn't look like he's. No, maybe not. Maybe he's not gaining height. Cool. Let's see, what else do I want to add? Oh, I see. I think I see what's happening. So if the player is already in the attack range, if the player's already in the attack range, he won't attack again. So right now, it just goes straight into chase here. I don't know, that's, yeah. So I could say if base dot player is not null, or no, yeah, base dot player is not equal null. If navigation agent 3D dot distance to target b is less than or equal to, let's say, 0.5. And then we'll say a machine dot change state self. So we'll attack again if and we'll return. Otherwise, we just go to the chase. That should fix attacking if the, or not attacking if the player is still within range. Well, it didn't seem to do that. Why didn't that work? Let's say it shouldn't matter if that's null. I think the navigation agent should still have target. And then we can say else do that. print out this here. Distance. Okay. What? Oh, because it stops. Okay, yeah. Now we do. Thank you for the stop shrimping reminder. Drink some water here too. Okay. Let me look up something real quick. I want to see, is there a way? Okay, so we can see if can make this a new game. Let's see if player attack range detector dot has overlapping or overlaps body. And we'll pass in base dot player. So that should be like if the player is inside this trigger when we hit this point. Attack again. Yeah, there we go. That's what I wanted. I think the actual attack sphere is too small. Or the detection sphere is too big, actually. Yeah, this needs to be smaller. Let's just set it like 1. Maybe even less. What? Okay, no, that's correct. Let's set this to like 0.6. Maybe move it a little bit closer even. Getting murdered by slime. I have been killed, but I am not. That's weird. The player did not die when they hit 0 health. Why is that? Actually, one thing I could do here is just disconnect the animation finished inside of this function. That way it should always clean up itself, basically. When it leaves, what might have happened is it disconnected twice. Wait, what? Oh, it already was doing that. It was disconnecting twice. Okay. That's fine, but why did the player not die? That is strange. Should have died there. Oh, it does say death state. Fire states. Death state. Player don't play die. I thought for sure I had changed the stork of the animation tree. I guess I did not. But that should be as simple as instead of doing that, don't do that anymore. We just say animation tree dot set trigger. Hello, welcome. How's it going? Some randev. Thanks for the raid. Thanks for the cubes. Working on a 3D platformer. I am working on a Zelda-inspired game. I'm working on making a slime be able to chase me and hurt me. Welcome. For those of you who don't know, I'm Grizzhoot the Owlbear. I am a 3D VTubing game developer. Alright, why didn't no set trigger function? Wow. I'm silly. I'm mixing my Camel and Pascal and Snake Case stuff. It's kind of messy. Set trigger. There we go. So yeah, my player died and it didn't trigger the death animation, so I am fixing that. So yeah, this is our hero Lynx. He's kind of like Link, but he's a lynx and not a little boy. It looks clean because I've collapsed a lot of nodes. So I have a bunch of grounded states and combat states and aerial states. Ledge states, interaction states. even like sub states for the interaction for like picking things up. Let me show off my little what I've got working so far. I've been working on this for like 9 months or something. Yeah, United States. Yeah, we can roll. We can swing our sword. We can block. Something got screwed up there. Sometimes my my attack animations don't trigger properly. Okay, so we defeated the slime. We have 1 health left. Good thing there's hearts over here that I can collect. And I can pick up these pots and throw them, and sometimes they'll have hearts in them, which is great. That was weird. I can collect money. I can ledge grab, and I can climb up the ledge. I can also climb ladders. And I can push blocks. And if I push the block onto the switch, it opens. So yeah, I fractured it in Blender, and I basically just made a bunch of rigid bodies that spawn and then despawn after time. I can open treasure chests. It's a little janky right now. I need to go back and fix that. Yeah, I have no idea how to like actually do it in Godot. Yeah, this is a sign you've been sitting here too long. And then a couple weeks ago, I also added water that I can swim in. It's a little janky right now. I can walk or swim at the bottom and climb ladders out. So yeah, that's like most of what I've got done so far. I also have like a void out area, so if you jump off the edge, you lose half a heart and respawn. But we've been making good progress. We just started adding a little slime enemy last week. He's also from Blender, so he's got his own state machine. Right now he has pretty simple enemy behavior where he's just got like an idle where he's waiting around, an alerted state for when he spots the player, and he goes into the chase. When he gets close enough to the player, he'll attack, and then if the player is still in range, he'll attack again. Otherwise, he'll go back into chase. And then I have this big, you can't see it super well, but I have this like a player awareness trigger that if the player gets out of that while he's being chased, then the slime is like, I don't know where you went, I'm just gonna go back to idle. So yeah, I've been taking kind of like a mechanics first approach to this. It kind of started off as just a learning project. I've done a lot of stuff in Unity, but this is my first like serious Godot project. So I had played through Wind Waker HD last summer on stream, and I was like, I should try remaking as much of that as I can in Godot to learn how to do that. And I've been having a lot of fun and learning a lot. I've been sharing the entire process on my stream, and I have all the VODs available on my YouTube channel if anyone's interested in watching how I've made all of this. I made all the assets myself, doing all of it in as much free and open source software as I can, and sharing my journey. So if that's something that interests you, I usually stream Tuesday and Thursday afternoon US time. If you want to hang out and goof around in Godot and learn how games get made, it's a lot of fun. And I also like my little VTuber guy. I made that in Unity, also on stream a long time ago. I didn't save the VODs of that though. But I'm actually using the Xbox One Connect to do my tracking. The Kinect can do both face and body tracking together. Yeah. So you can kind of see down in the corner. That's the human that's puppeting the owl bear. And I also set up some Twitch integrations too, so like some of my channel point redeems, like my hydrate reminder will it'll put like a can of LaCroix in my hand. And then I've got like my save reminder will launch a floppy disk at my face. And I can also become very floofy. Yes, thank you for the floof. But yeah, thanks for hanging out. This is it's always fun to get raided by somebody new. Were you also doing a game dev stream? What were you working on your stream, if you don't mind sharing? Cool. Were you working on a 3D platformer? Very cool. That's fun. It's fun to meet other game devs. Yes. Yeah, I'm really liking Godot. There's a few little things that I've just done so much Unity that always trip me up. I was mentioning it earlier. When my slime was chasing me, it was facing the wrong way. I could not figure out why the slime was not facing the player. It's because Godot uses positive Z is like towards the node, and then negative Z is like forward. And I'm used to Unity where it's the other way around. Where, you know, the blue arrow is pointing in the positive Z direction. But I'm no. Yeah, I've been jumping back and forth between, so like I made my VTuber guy in Unity, and I've done tons of, like, I used to work at Alchemy Labs, so I worked on let's see, let me show off for a second. So I worked on Job Simulator, Rick and Morty VR, Vacation Simulator, and a little bit of Cosmonious High. I left before that one launched. So I have a lot of experience in Unity, specifically doing VR, and I'm also working on a contract project in Unreal. So between Unity, Godot, Blender, and Unreal, I've used like every coordinate system under the sun. So I just have to remind myself every now and then, like, because Unreal is a Z up, I think, but it's no, I think it's Y up, but X points left instead of points right. So it's all very confusing. Blender is Z up. But yeah, it's one of those things where it's like most of the concepts are the same. It's just the syntax and the little details that are slightly different. But I'm really liking Godot. I would definitely recommend, like, if someone's starting game dev for the first time, Godot is where I would say to start. It does 2D really well. It does 3D pretty well. The scripting is very simple and straightforward compared to some other stuff. It's very cool. And I love that it's free and open source. Let me show off another little scene that I was working on here. I have like a moodier dungeon that I started working on just to kind of figure out some like lighting and atmosphere stuff. So I'm playing around with like fog and different lighting effects. So I plan on turning this project into like a small game with a few different dungeons and like an overworld area and some bosses, and I would like to release it on Steam. I was able to let me find it real quick. So I was able to get the game running on my Steam Deck, which is very cool. So I was able to do a Windows and a Linux build and get those uploaded to Steam. I don't have like a public store page for it yet, but I'm just learning that process because I had never done that stuff before. I have games on Steam from when I professionally worked in game dev, but this is my first like serious solo project. Doesn't even have a official name yet. I'm kind of figuring that out. I want it to be fun first, and then I'll worry about that later. I also want to add real quick. Let's see. Let's add rigid body 3D. Just gonna put a collision shape on this. It's gonna be a sphere. Move it up a little bit. Let's hide this for a second. Oops. Oh. Alright, so I'm gonna make this, gonna lock everything down because I want it to be kinematic and I just want it to be a child of the character body because I have a lock on target system. So if I put a lock on target script on here, I think this should work. Oh, okay, that did not work the way I thought it would. Where'd he go? He's just under the ground. Okay, let's see. Yeah, this is one of the things that I'm not used to with with Godot. So in Unity, you can have multiple scripts on the same object, but you can't do that in Godot. And so the composition, like, you know, how you set up your scene tree for your prefabs or whatever, it's very important. But sometimes there's like, oh, I want this to be, I want the root object to act like a lock-on target, but I also want it to be a character body. Alright, yeah, this is working now. So we can like strafe around and yeah, I also I hooked up some controller haptics, so then I anything that triggers camera shake also triggers controller rumble, which is neat. But yeah, I have like most of the building blocks of this game working now that I have a simple enemy. I do want to add some other. Oh yeah, I forgot. I have bombs as well. So I have like this bombable wall here that I can't break with my sword, but I can put a bomb down, and the bomb will destroy the bombable wall. So I'm putting together kind of just like a toolbox of different things that I can use to make some gameplay interactions. Yeah, destruction. Oh yeah, also the bombs can blow up the pots, which is very fun. Well, it's fun if it actually blows them up. It's just smashing them right now, which is not exactly how I wanted it to work. Okay, I was wrong. The bombs are not breaking the pots. Why is that? I'll look into that. I'm gonna make a note of that actually. So Ran, I don't know if you're familiar with Hack and Plan. This is what I use to do my my task tracking. So I can make you might be familiar with Trello. Hack and Plan is sort of like Trello, but more structured and made specifically for game development. So it has categories that are relevant to game development, like programming, art, design, writing, marketing, sound, ideas, and bugs and stuff like that. You should check out Hack and Plan. It is really cool. It's free for individuals. It does have like a paid plan and like a studio plan and everything, but it's free to use if you're just playing around. The thing that I really like about it, or one of the things I really like about it, is it has this design model, which is basically like a wiki, where you can like design your game, describe everything, write everything out, and you can link individual tasks in your so like I have this let's see. You can assign tasks to elements in the wiki basically, and it'll keep track of like, okay, this is how many tasks are related to this specific thing. You can keep track of your hours and stuff in it too. You can cross-link things in here. It's really useful for keeping organized. I have ADHD brains. I don't always remember to check this, which is kind of a problem, but it's a really good tool for trying to keep organized. So yeah, I was gonna add this bug here, or bombs are destroying pots. Yeah. When they explode. But yeah, it's got this sort of like Kanban view where you know you have your list of to-dos, you got your list of things that you're working on and things that you're testing that you're not sure if they're done or not, and then you got a done column. You can have like subtasks with checkboxes. You can do tags. I don't have any tags set up right now. You can also set up like a due date, a start and end date. You can be like, I think this is gonna take me 3 hours, and then you can be like, oh, I actually finished it in 1 hour. It's really modular though, so you don't need to use all this stuff. I don't know. I think it's really useful. I can't keep a whole video game in my brain. So this is sort of like my external brain for keeping track of all that stuff. You can also like drag files in here too, so you could drag your concept art for your characters or whatever. It's really neat. Smashing pots is really fun. But yeah, there's a bunch of little things I need to do to make the game feel a little bit better, and I have a lot of bugs. Keep making new ones every time I add a new feature. Like sometimes my guy doesn't enter the correct animations. Like specifically if I jump off of one of these blocks onto another one, like he'll get stuck in the falling animation sometimes. I think I fixed that one. Okay, here we got a bug. Change state. What's happening here? Okay. This is my... This is my idle state. No, this is my run state, I think. Yeah, I think what I... Oh. State machines not equal to self. No, I think I see what's wrong. This else is not the correct level of indentation, I think. So I think if I switch this to if and not elif, because I think what was happening was is being like, if state machine is not null or not equal self, if we're not currently in this state, return. Otherwise, come all the way down here, and it's saying if we're not grounded, change the state to jump. But the problem was state machine was null. This elif was, yeah. So I think that should fix that. I'm not entirely sure. Thanks for the floof. Yeah, I also have I have some like costume stuff that I can do. So I can have a Link hat, and I can have Sword and Shield. Yeah. My floof kind of clips through it, but you know, whatever. No, so I made a Santa hat for Christmas. I added a rainbow mode and an extremely cursed shave mode. We don't use that one very much. Those ones aren't tied to redeems yet, but I might hook them up to maybe bits or something. So there's a couple things I know I need to add to both my lock-on targeting system and the enemy's vision that detects the player, which so right now it's just like an overlap sphere. But that doesn't account for, like, okay, I'm behind this wall, that the slime can still like see me through the wall. And I can still lock on through the wall. So what I need to do is if these areas detect a target that they're looking for, I need to do a ray cast from the origin to the target, and if that ray cast hits the target, then it's valid, and if it does not hit the target, then it's not valid. And so don't, like, he just saw me even though he's in the, like, on the other side of the wall. That shouldn't happen. I also think he'll chase me off the... No, guess he doesn't chase me off the edge. I didn't make him smart enough to do that. That's the navigation area doing that. Now, you said you're making a 3D platformer. How are you handling your character animation? Are you just using an animation player, or do you have an animation tree? So I'm using an animation tree, and it's getting very unwieldy. I feel like this always happens in Unity too, but like, you have a bunch of states that need to transition from one to another, and you don't always have them set up correctly. Like, a lot of times I forget to make so I have like a transition to the falling from our locomotion, and also from our jump. And then like falling can transition to either swimming or climbing a ladder or ledge hang. Well, no, I don't think there's a transition from. Yeah. So you can't grab the ledge while you're falling. Interesting. But yeah, I have like substates in here for you know, if I'm holding an object or not. I have some like blend spaces for pushing and pulling stuff. But yeah, I kind of needed to use the animation tree so I can do like animation layers more or less. So I can layer like our basic like walk and run with like holding an object above my head, stuff like that. I think I'm gonna wrap up in a little bit. Let's see. So Reb is playing Peak. Good raid, Reb. Barry is doing a weird Ocarina of Time Ace Attorney ROM hack thing. Who should we raid? Anybody have any preferences? Or we could raid somebody new that we haven't raided before. Rambling Onions is also doing art fight stuff. We could raid them. I think we'll raid Rambling Onions. So I'll get this raid going. And I will wrap up here. Thanks for hanging out. Thanks again, some Randev for the raid. Hope you enjoyed. I should be back on Thursday with more game dev. Have a good rest of your week, everybody. Bye.